A very warm afternoon to all my class 7th students. Well, my dear children, today I, Sakshi Singh, welcome you all in today's English class. Well, my dear students, today we are going to start with a very important chapter in a grammar, that is non-finites. Okay, I hope that you will enjoy this chapter because this chapter seems very easy, but if you didn't understand that, it can be complicated too. So, this chapter basically is divided into three parts. Okay, first is that infinitives, then participles, and then gerunds. Okay, so before we proceed towards non finite verbs, we should understand what is verb, what are finite and non finite verbs. Okay, and even what its role. So if we go through step by step, it would be easy for you to understand. Okay. So I would request you that please listen to this video very carefully. And if you have any doubt, you can text in person. Okay. So here we start. Okay. So first we deal with the finite and non-finite verbs. What is verb? I think that most of you know what are verbs, isn't it? See, verb that has a subject which shows tense, person, and number is called verb. This is, like we have been studying from the class 4th and 5th, even from the in 1st and 2nd also we do study in the form of action and doing words. That verb is a very simplest one, that is saying word, or you can say action words. Okay. And also we say that verbs means which has number, tense, person, time, tense, everything. Okay, that is verb, and basically that is finite verbs. Okay, so here we go. See, you can see here two pictures. Okay, first picture you can see, that is Sarah jumps from the stairs. Okay, the next picture, they jump from the stairs. So what did you notice here? According to you, you notice that there are two subjects, Sarah, and one is pronoun, that is they. One is jumps and another one is jump. Let's figure it out. Sarah jumps from the stairs, they jump from the stairs, which means that the present tense, it is in present tense, okay? Simple present tense. It means that the present tense agree with the subject, or in other sense we can say that verb is in agreement with the subject. Means Sarah is what? Singular verb, singular subject. Jumps is singular verb. They plural subject, and jump plural verb. So generally if we whatever we follow, okay, we always consider that singular subject always takes singular verb, plural subject always take plural verb. So this is the number. Now next you see, Sarah jumped from the stairs, they jumped from the stairs. In which tense it is? It is in past tense. It means that according to the tense and according to the number, we change the verb. See, in the first sentence you can see Sarah jumps from the stairs. Here it changes, it is in simple present tense, it changes according to the number. They, it is in plural, so it is why, that is why it is jump. Jumped means it is in tense, that's why it is what? According to the tense we changed. So that is, you can say, past tense form of the verb is used. So verb changes according to the grammatical tense, person, and number. Okay, that we all know. That is called finite verbs. Verbs that show agreement with the subject, person, and number and indicate grammatical tense. That is finite verbs. It changes in the sentence according to the number, okay, according to the tense, according to the subject. It changes. Like if we use in future tense, it will change according to future tense. If it would be in perfect tense, it would be like you can say according to the perfect tense. So it totally depends on the person, it depends on the tense. If it is person means if it is singular, it will be singular verb. Plural, it will be plural verb. Okay. I want to sing, I wanted to sing, I will sing. So present, past, and future. Now, next is Sarah likes to jump, they like to jump. Here, likes is what? That is verb. Okay, because it is changing according to the Sarah, that is, she is singular subject. After that, you can say there is another word. In this sentence, we have two verbs, likes and jump. According to, if you see, like jump is also a verb only. It is an action verb only. In the second sentence also it's a jump, but it is followed by, can you see one difference here? That it is followed by to. So to plus jump, that is a base form. Here also to plus verb, that is a base form. Well, again it is a base form. Sarah liked to jump, they like to jump. To plus base form. Okay, so here we have two verbs. One is changing and another one is not changing, and it is followed by to. So it does not change form according to subject, that is number and person, and it does not indicate any tense. So here you can say here this jump and this jump and this jump and likes and like. So here in this jump, it is not changing. It will always be in a first form of the verb. It will always be in its original form. It's not going to change whatever the tense, whatever the number, whatever the subject, person, it would be there. And it does not indicate any tense. Okay. That type of verb is non-finite. So non-finite verbs do not indicate any tense. It do not change with the subject. Once again, let's have a look. Mom is cooking in the kitchen. Oh my God, what a delicious food she is cooking. Okay, and we all know that mom cooks always delicious food. Is cooking, this is present continuous tense. Okay, so it means that here this cooking ing form is changing according to the tense because it is in continuous tense and mom is singular, so that using is here, it's cooking. Okay, so this is finite verb. Here they were cooking in the kitchen. Again, it's a finite verb. Okay, and it's the past continuous. Will be, it is in the future continuous, and it is also finite verb. Here, mom loves cooking on Sundays. Now we are using loves also, and we're using cooking also. There are two types of verbs. Oh my God. And in the second sentence, again, two types of one is in past tense and another one is what? But in both these two sentences, there is one thing in common, that the other verb cooking, that is same. Loves, it is changing according to mom. Loved according to the tense. Let's have a look. So here, loves is what? Finite verb. Cooking is what? Non-finite verb. Because same in each sentence, in each tense. It is not affecting by any other tense, subject, and any other thing. See, the second sentence you can see here. The window pane was broken yesterday. Window pane was broken yesterday. So here, the window pane was broken yesterday. Past perfect tense, you can say. Okay, this is in past tense. The window pane was broken. Finite verb broken because it is according to the tense and it is in passive voice. Okay, and whenever we have simple past tense in the active voice and we do change it into passive voice with was broken, is verb third form. Dad will repair the broken window pane today. So now see again, here it is finite verb, but in the second sentence it is non-finite verb because it is not affecting by any tense. Will repair, it is finite verb because it is affecting by tense, that is future tense. Okay, so this is the basic difference between finite and non-finite. I say I do not like burnt toast. Oh my God, who likes that burnt toast? Tell me that. Nobody likes burnt toast. So here burnt is what? Here burnt is non-finite. Okay, nobody likes is finite verbs. Okay, so let's move. I want to plant a tree in my backyard. Again, want, there are two verbs here. Want, that is finite verb. According to the tense and according to the number, it is affecting. To plant means it is not affecting. And to plant, it's the to plus base form, that is non-finite verb. Now see, here we can see more examples of sentences with finite and non-finite verbs. Okay, here we can see that finite verbs, they play football, they like to play football. He plays football, he likes to play football. You are playing football, she is playing football. She is playing football, he was playing football. They were playing football, they have always liked to play football. So here you can see the difference of finite and non-finite verb. Okay. So finite verb, the difference in is if you I'm going to if I'm going to summarize it, a verb that is limited by the number, person of its subject and the tense. But non-finite verb, a verb that is not limited by the number, the person of its subject and the tense. Now let's start non-finite verbs. Finally, we are going to start non-finite verbs. So the non-finite verb basically has three parts: the infinitive, gerund, and participle. So today we are going to start with the infinitive. In the next video, in the next class, we would start with the participle, and in the last class, that is gerund. So for you, it is important to understand difference between finite and non-finite. So which you have, I hope that you have understood. Okay. So now next is we are going to start, that is infinitive. What is infinitive? The word to plus base form of the verb is equal to infinitive. Okay. To plus base form of the verb, that is infinitive. I like to drive. That's students, I would like to children, I want to ask you one thing. See, I like to drive, and if I'm saying that, how you're going to identify to, because to is infinitive also and to is preposition also. So how you're going to identify to in a sentence, that whether this particular to is a preposition or this particular to is a non-finite verb? How? Think, ponder. Well, if it is followed, any base form of the verb followed by to, it is what? Infinitive, preceded by form of the verb. So here, I like to drive. Here, like is finite verb. To drive, that is to plus base form. Okay, that is the base form of the verb, that is non-finite, because it is not changing. It will remain same. I like to play. I like to watch movies. I like to hang around. I like to watch movies. I like to play games. Okay. To drink milk is good for health, but obvious, but I know many of you do not like to drink milk, isn't it? So it can be as a subject also. To drink milk. So to, again here it is, you can say drink, infinitive it is, and it is non-finite, and is here what is finite verb. So infinitive is what? An infinitive is a non-finite verb which shows an action. What does it show? It shows purpose. It shows purpose, shows intention. Okay. Even sometimes, sometimes, okay, even sometimes it shows future reference also. Okay. It shows a purpose, it shows potential. Okay. It shows future reference also, what you are going to do in a future. Like we can say also, we can also say that we wish to state an aim or purpose. Like, he called to thank me. Oh my god, I'm so blessed. He called to thank me. He wanted to borrow some money. See, he wanted is finite, to borrow, so borrow is non-finite. So this is the this is a thing that we need to understand in infinitive. Okay. Like, do you want to eat a pizza? Finite. Do you want? Because but obvious, with you we always use do. To eat, here eat is infinitive. The students want to have a free period. Oh my god, wow, free period. Start free period. Yes, the students want to have free period. So want finite verb, because if we put the student, it would be wants. Okay, and if we change it into past tense, wanted. Okay, and have is infinitive. Sally wanted her to come to the fair. Infinitive is equal to 2 plus base form. Just now see, wanted. Now suppose if we change into another sentence. Sally saw her to come to the fair, or the Sally saw her come to the fair. This would be wrong. Non-finite verb, base form, not preceded by to, is called bare infinitive. Okay, you know there is infinitive where we can use to, and there is without infinitive also we use we use infinitive. In that case, we call is bare infinitive. So what are the situation where we use bare infinitive? Zero. We do not use. Okay. See. So infinitives is there, but without to, that is bare infinitive. The bare infinitive may be used after modals auxiliary verbs. Will, would, shall, should, may, might, and all modals. We can play the piano. We can to play the piano, it would be wrong sentence. We cannot say that we can to play the piano. We can play the piano. Because after can, you cannot put any other form of the verb. You will have to put base form of the verb. So it's not going to change. So it will remain non-finite. After modal auxiliaries, again, you can see that I do know him. I do to know him. You cannot say that. Okay. After words of perception, feel, watch, hear, see, know. I heard her crying. I heard her cry in pain. I felt him touch my back. You cannot say to touch, to cry, or cry to or touch. Okay. Just keep this thing in your mind. I dare not do it again. Need also. We need not to go there. It's wrong. You need not go there. The child did nothing but cry. The child did nothing but to cry would be wrong sentence. Now, what are the different features of infinitive? Okay, means you can say different roles of infinitive. See, bare infinitive can be used as an object complement. Mom helped us bake. Okay, like you can say that mom helped us bake. Here, I want to play in the park. So want is main verb. To play, it can never be a main verb in a sentence. Just to remember. Non-finite verb, whether it is infinitive, participle, gerund, whatever. It cannot be main verb in a sentence. Okay. Sheila loves to dance. What? It's like a noun used as an object. Okay. It is at the last, and if you see the structure of a sentence, subject, verb. Okay, so it can be used as an object. So now let's see next. Jenny came to help me with my homework. It can be used as an adverb which expresses purpose. Okay. So, you know what, that infinitive has different uses. Okay. And even if you see it, it can used as an object, it can used as an, even as a complement, as a subject. That totally depends on the different sentences. You can say that as the object of the verb in a sentence. Okay, you can take an example, I want to dance. Okay, so I want to dance. To dance, here it is used as an object. Then you can say as a subject, to respect our parents is our duty. To respect our parents is our duty. So to respect, it is used in a subject. As the object of the verb, you can say I expect to complete the task. I expect to complete the task. Fine. Then you can say as a complement, as a to qualify an adjective or as a noun. This is not the time to laze. Okay, this is not the time to laze, that you can being a lazy. So to swim professionally is his dream. So it is modifying what? Adverb. So anything which is modifying by an adverb here, it can also be non-finite. Because simple, you will have to just keep this thing in your mind that finite verb do changes, and finite verbs do changes and it is the main verb in a sentence. But non-finite verb are not the main verb in a sentence, wherever the position would be, whether it is a noun, object, complement, adverb, adjective, whatever. Okay, so just in a mind, keep this thing in a very general, generic sense that non-finite cannot be a main verb in a sentence. Okay, so I hope that you like this and please listen to this video very carefully and attentively. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me in person. So till then, take care, everyone. Bye bye, everyone. You can also see test. Sorry, just test yourself. Here, I have included your book exercise only, which you can see here. Okay, with the answers. Okay, so you can check and you can do. So thank you so much for the watch. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.